I'm a coach and I help people reduce anxiety, build confidence, improve their conversation skills, make friends, and have more fun. So, today's video, I'm going to talk about how you actually know that you're growing in confidence and growing as a person. I used to be friends with this guy, and he'd often say to me, confidence isn't a tangible thing. Sometimes you feel really good, sometimes you don't. How do you even know that you're growing in confidence? How do you know it's not some kind of placebo? So I thought I'd do this video because I know that long-term motivation is important to succeed in any area of life: health and fitness, personal transformation, career, finding the right relationship, whatever you're looking to do. And I know that when you're not even sure if you're on the right path and you're confused, you don't know if you're growing, that can be quite dispiriting. But when you know for sure that you're growing, you're going to be a lot more motivated. So, firstly, how do you know you're going to grow? So, we all have fears, and the purpose of fear is to keep you safe, to keep you alive. So, when you're challenging yourself, you're stepping outside of your own comfort zone and getting exposure to something new, something scary. The voice of fear is going to be more active. I'll give you a recent example in my case. So I've been focused a lot on the business, growing my coaching, and it's been going great. But I realized that for a little while, I've been neglecting my personal life outside of coaching. I was thinking, do you know what? I've not met with a friend in a little while, not spent as much time with family as I would like to. So let's start doing this more. Let's face my own fears in this moment, face any potential sabotage, and let's see what happens. So I thought, okay, I'll join a local running club, spend time with people outside of the coaching, and make sure that I don't drop the ball in this area of my own life. And I went to a group social run, and I could hear my own inner critic and inner voice saying that you don't deserve to be successful, you don't deserve to be happy, you're worthless, you're rubbish. I could hear my voice saying that. And I was thinking, this is amazing. This is success. When the voice gets louder, it's because you're actually challenging yourself. You've found out an area of life that you've been neglecting, an area where you've been sabotaging on some level. And you've said, okay, I'm facing fear in all these different areas. Now I'm going to face it in another area. The voice gets louder because you're threatening that voice. You're threatening because success, transformation, and growth, this is new territory. And fear wants to keep you in your comfort zone. So when you hear the voice getting louder, that's actually success. You wouldn't get that if you was in your comfort zone. You will get that if you're actually challenging yourself in your real life. So how do you know you've actually grown? One way is when things become easier over time. So, for example, public speaking. When you give your first public talk, you're going to be really, really scared. So I do live events once a month. I've done 35, I believe, now. So 35 public talks. On the first 6 or 7, I was scared. People liked the event, but I was scared. I could feel that fear on the inside. I could feel the nerves. I made them work for me rather than against me, but I definitely felt scared. Over time, I still feel nervous, but a lot less nervous. Even with more people there, I feel way less nervous and way more relaxed than I used to feel. So it's become easier over time as I've grown. So when something doesn't scare you as much as it used to scare you, that's one surefire way you know that you've grown. Another way is when you handle situations more skillfully than a previous you would have handled them. For example, you might recognize a situation where somebody is trying to take advantage of you, and you put your boundaries down, stand up for yourself, and the outcome's different. In that situation, that's a private victory, which you know yourself when you've succeeded and you've got a private victory. The past you did not have the same level of experience and skill as the current you. Look how the past you handled a similar situation, and look how much better the current you is doing. So comparing how you handle situations now to how you used to handle them, that's a great way to know that you've grown. And that's about experience, skill, bravery, and learning. Another way you know you've grown is when you can handle your own emotions better. We all have times where we feel depressed, we feel down. We all have times where we feel disheartened and defeated, dispirited. Times where we feel lonely, times where we feel enraged and angry. We all go through the full range of human emotions. It's just that most people only express the good ones, and they avoid people when they're not feeling too great. And people don't often confess to feeling depressed at times, to feeling lonely at times, because they think it's low value, so they hide it. But everybody experiences cycles of human emotions, because we're all vulnerable human beings, and it's normal and it's natural. Hi Tarun, great that you're on this stream. So what I'm talking about is how you know that you're growing in confidence and growing as a person. And one way you know is when you handle your own emotions better. So a past version of you, for example, might have only gone out of the house to meet people when in the best mood possible, but might have avoided other people when you felt low, when you felt down. When the current you has realized that you can go out and socialize and connect with people, whatever state you're in, that's growth. So I'm going to read out Tarun's message here. Most people experience negative feelings from time to time or regularly, but they keep it to themselves. Absolutely. And literally, so this is pretty much exactly what I said just before you joined the stream. So totally agree with that. So there's an Oasis song where I think it might be Noel Gallagher that says, you only see what people want you to see. So people have an image of themselves that they want to present to other people. And if something doesn't fit with this image, often people don't express it. So they're maintaining their image, but the problem with this lack of complete honesty is that other people think, wow, do I just feel this way? Are other people always feeling happy? Are other people always confident? And it can make you feel that you don't have permission to experience whatever's going on inside. It can make you feel that you're not enough, but everybody feels the full range of human emotions. And that's good. You've joined the stream while on a lunch break. Great. Another way in which I know that I've grown, and I know that other people have grown. So when you experience a triggering situation, something that reminds you of the past, and it brings up strong emotions, anger, sadness, hurt, and you feel yourself really reacting to a situation emotionally. When you experience that and you go out and reface that situation and it doesn't affect you as strongly, that's also a way in which you know you've grown, handling triggers better. And it's great that you noticed the stream was going on and joined in. It's always nice to catch up. So yeah, knowing that you're growing as a person is really important, because long-term motivation is what most people need to really transform as a person and achieve what they want to achieve in life, because it isn't easy, it's difficult, it's hard. And knowing that you're making progress is something that you can always hold on to, even if you're going through a challenging time right now. And you can say, well, do you know what? I know I'm getting more confident because I'm handling this better than I used to. I know I'm getting more experience and better boundaries, better this, better that. You can see your own growth. That can keep you going through the challenging times. And that's a nice definition. So I'm going to read out Taryn's comment there. Maturity is being able to control your emotions, self-regulate yourself, and communicate your needs or feeling to others. Absolutely. So, as my mentor would say to me, talk with emotions. It's okay to express your emotions. That's how we're meant to socialize. But of course, social intelligence is being aware of the context and what's appropriate and finding that balance between the two. So you're always being yourself, but also you're appropriate to the environment and the people that are in it. And maturity is a good word for that. And when people come down to my coffee socials, I'm encouraging them to communicate with emotions, to actually express themselves, because that's the foundation of confidence. It's exposure therapy, but if you're going to all these social situations, you've got your guard up and you're protecting yourself, you're talking from the head, not from the heart, you're not really expressing your emotions, you're not getting the true exposure that you need. You're in situations, but you've got a shield on, you're protecting yourself. So letting your guard down is a great way to get the true exposure and proof that you're safe in that environment. And of course, that's why my events are a safe space where you can do that. But in other situations, when you're at work, when you're with family, when you're on some sort of outing with friends, you can adjust it so it's appropriate to the context as well. And what I would say is, so Taryn's talking about if you're too giving or too generous, people could take advantage of you. And I both agree and disagree with that point at the same time. So I like being giving and generous. I like being kind, but I'm choosing to be kind, and I balance that out with good boundaries. So I choose to be a good person, and I know that there's lots of other good people out there, but not everybody is. Some people have lower empathy. Some people are wolves. Some people will try to take advantage. And this is where experience and skill comes in. When you recognize it, you go, okay, I can see where this person is coming from. It feels a bit off. My gut's telling me that I can't trust this person. This person is showing signs that they might betray. That's when you have the boundaries and go, okay, I'm not going to be open when it comes to, my own emotions and vulnerabilities with this person. So you want to be as open as you can be. And with some people, if they have lower empathy, you're right, you have to be careful. So with those people, you can have surface level conversations. Chat to them about the football, the cricket, the Olympics, the weather. Keep it surface level with those people. But with good people that you really connect with, then you can be fully open because it's your tribe. So what I'm saying is, socializing is a martial art. And learning the social martial art, the social self-defense, the blocks. So you can be a giving person and be kind, and you can open up. But also you have to be smart when you're doing that as well. And you have to be strong enough to stand up for yourself when the time calls. And this is what discourages lots of people. So maybe you're a really, really good person and you want to be a good person, but you've had some bad experiences where you've tried to be kind and somebody has taken advantage of you, and that's made you close up and not want to keep being a good person. What I would say is, why let that person control you in the future? They've already hurt you once. Why keep on hurting yourself? Why not say, well, do you know what? I'm going to be myself regardless. I'm not going to let that past experience bother me. But what I'm going to do is take full responsibility and say, what can I learn from this to be stronger and more skilled in the future? And with that mindset, you're always going to grow and you're being yourself as well. So what Tarun's saying here is that sometimes it leads to resentment if you find that you're given a lot but it's not being reciprocated. And I understand that. And part of the balance is it's finding the right people to spend time with, because it is important to receive as well as give. It's important to do things that are good for you as well as good for others. So what I think is, do good things when it feels right. And something to understand as well is that people give in different ways. So for some people, cooking a meal, they're giving loads. They're really trying to show love. They're being kind, and that's their way of doing it. Other people, they're a bit scared. They're a bit scared to give, but they give by listening. They might give by being there if there's a tough time, and they will respond if you really need them. So people give in different ways, and often they might give in a different way than you give. So there are other very, very giving people out there, and don't lose faith of that. And sometimes it's just not meant to be. You form a connection with somebody, you get on, and you drift apart. You naturally drift apart, and it's not your fault. It's not their fault. It's just that you've changed, they've changed, because you're on your journey, they're on theirs, and you're basically now different. You're now not compatible as friends, contacts, whatever it is. So you can sometimes drift apart from people, because you're on a different page. And what I would say, Taran, is it's both. So I like to help other people out personally, but you also have to learn to help yourself out as well. And it's a balance where it's nice to receive, but you can't rely on it either. So really, focus on doing what you enjoy, doing what's natural to you. If you have a vision for the kind of person that you want to be, the kind of future that you want to live, then create that vision and start taking action towards it. You're making progress then in your life, which is going to feel good. Give to people when it feels natural. And when you need some time to focus on you, take that time to focus on you and be okay with that. It's not selfish to give to yourself, because actually you can only give what you've got to give anyway. So if you find yourself drained a lot, maybe taking a step back and giving more to yourself is actually what you need to do right now. Recharging your batteries, and then at some point in the future, when your cup's full and you're feeling great, you'll start to give more to other people, but without needing something back. And that's fine. So what you're really saying there, Taran, is that you've taken a step back from someone that you was friends with from a long time, and actually the best solution to a lot of problems, especially involving people, is space. Space is the best solution, because when you have space, you both have time to figure out what's right. The emotions can change over time. So space is the best thing. It's okay, space. And what you'll learn is that you don't need that person and they don't need you. But you might also realize that actually, I would like to hang out more with this person again. I do think it's going to be beneficial for both of us. And if you're both on the same page, then that can happen. And like you said, distance and letting things unfold naturally is the key. Absolutely. At this stage, we don't know where it's going to go. I can't sit here and tell you that you're going to become friends again with this person in 3 months, or you're not going to, because we don't know. There's uncertainty there. But taking that space and being like, okay, I don't have control over this. I'm going to pursue my path, and I'm going to allow the universe to decide what's right. Whatever's meant to happen will happen. What's more important is you being on your journey. You can always rely on yourself. And often, when you don't need stuff from other people, that's the time when you actually get it. And the great thing with space is it gives you more time to focus on what you want to focus on. So that's the big pro to breaking away from another person. This could be a friend, could be a partner. It could be you leaving a job that you don't enjoy. What you gain from that is space in your life. And it's up to you what you want to do with that space. It's an opportunity. You've now got yourself a lot more time. The time that you would have spent with that person or in that job, you've freed up. And you can use that how you want to use it with a positive mindset. That could be time when you go to the gym and train. So that could be the reason why you get fitter and healthier. It could be the reason why you transform as a person. It's on you how you use your time. And that's interesting. So what Taran said, because I'm not sure if it shows the comments after the stream, One thing that he's realized is people have told him that he struggles to receive compliments, and it feels a bit awkward when other people give to you. So actually, in a way, the fact that you've distanced yourself from this person, you could say it's actually a blessing in disguise. Because what you're saying is that you want other people to give you stuff, but when they do, you feel awkward. So really, practice giving more to yourself. Get really good at giving to yourself. That's a skill set. Being kind to yourself. The same kindness that you would show to a friend, try to work on showing that kindness to yourself. Imagine that you was coaching someone else and you was giving them advice, and do that to yourself and take that advice. So quite a few people have said the same thing. And being kind to yourself it's life changing. When you can learn to do this, and it takes time. I'm still working on being kind to myself, but I'm a lot kinder to myself than I used to be. And when you can be more kind to yourself, you don't need others to be kind to you, and you'll notice other people being kind to you when you're not even expecting it. So I would say use that same energy that you would normally use to give to other people and redirect it so you're learning to give to yourself and receive your own kindness. So for example, you're on a lunch break from work. When you finish work for the day, imagine that you had a twin, you had another Taron, and he was basically living the same life as you in the same situation, but in a different city, and you'd met up and you're chatting to him. Ask yourself, what advice would I give to this guy right now? What advice would I give to my twin who I want to help out? What would I say to him? And take that advice yourself. And when you do this, you'll learn to treat yourself with the same kindness that you treat others. And when you do this, you'll find that your relationships with other people, they become more balanced, and it doesn't feel that you're always giving and they're not giving. Because maybe they're scared to give. Maybe they're scared that you're not going to receive it. So learning to receive is really important. And that's cool. I've never seen that emoji before. But do it. Like seriously, like if you imagine you've got a twin, give advice to your twin and take that yourself. You'll overcome the blockage that's stopping you from being kind to yourself. Takes time as well. And I can only imagine what a twin version of you would be like. Imagine having two Tarons at one of my coffee socials. Would be very, very, very interesting. But yeah, it's a great way to unlock more kindness to yourself. I'm just checking the time because, okay, amazing. So I'm going to, yeah, it is crazy, but trust me, it is effective. Try it out when you finish work. Have a 10-minute chat with yourself. See what advice you would give to that twin, because you're then being kind, and take that advice on board for yourself. And whatever resistance is in the way, ignore it, because the advice that you give to a friend, that's the right advice for you to take. And it sounds that the challenge that you're having is receiving compliments from other people, receiving kindness. So you're working on your ability to be kind to yourself. Because how can you expect others to be kind to you if you can't be kind to yourself? You could say that. And maybe the time's right then. If you was thinking along similar lines yesterday, and now we're talking about it and saying the same thing, maybe this is a sign that the time is right. The time's right for you to practice being kind to yourself. So important. And then actually you need other people less and you actually get more. So basically, I will have to end this live stream in a few minutes. I'm going to do a YouTube video to upload that I'll put into Instagram as well. So I'll bosh out a bit of content to hopefully help inspire some people. Then I'm going to get my daily run in, a gym session, cold shower, sauna, and then I'm going into town and coaching a guy later on. So I'm taking action, and then after that, I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to say to myself, what advice would I give to a twin version of me right now in a parallel universe and living a similar life? I'm going to take that advice. So I hope that everybody that is watching and has watched this stream by the time it's uploaded got value. If you're interested in coming down to one of my coffee social events to reduce anxiety, build confidence, improve your conversation skills, and make friends, drop me an email and I'll send you a link to my meetup group. If you're interested in receiving one-to-one coaching, I offer the first coaching session, the taster session, free of charge. Email me if you want to try this. And I'll just read out this last comment from Tyrone and answer it before ending the stream. So what Tyrone said is that you can't always rely on someone else to give you what you're yearning for. You need to give yourself what you want if you can't get it from somebody else. It's absolutely true. And you could say that if you're desperately trying to get something from somebody else, in a way you could say that you're manipulating that person into giving you something. And you're using that person as a crutch. But the more you can give to yourself, so you're complete, you're enough as you are, you don't need the other person. Now, because there's nothing that you need, you can just genuinely be yourself, have a good time. The other person doesn't feel a pressure. They don't feel like they have to fill a void in you. It's just an exchange between two people who are content within themselves. And that leads to good relationships with people. And because there's not a reliance, if you drift apart, it's not a disaster either. So it's a lot healthier. Appreciating other people rather than needing them, but also we're humans and we kind of do need people on some level, but you don't need any one individual. So you might need people, but you don't need one person. So if one person's not right for you, you can always make some new friends. And Terrence just said, yeah. If there was two versions of him at one of my events, I might need to kick one of them out, or it might be absolute chaos. Unless the other version of you had a completely opposite personality. So yeah, it could be chaos, but because I have two booths now in this place that I book, maybe I could find a way. But if there was two me's at the event, that'd be interesting as well. But anyway, hope that you Hope this has cheered up your lunch break and that you enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, we've mentioned that we might do brunch at some point when there's not a riot going on, when it's a good time. Feel free, if there's a time that's good for you, that you've got a link to my calendar, so feel free to choose, and we'll have a chat, and yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely have brunch, because in person is always the best. And yeah, so if people don't know, there is some like riots going on in Birmingham and Wolverhampton at the moment. So I've been in town a bit, but where I've been, I've actually I've not crossed paths with where the riots are. So just like you, I've actually not seen anything. Even the guy I'm meeting today, I'm meeting him in the mailbox. So basically the paths that I'm walking, I'm not crossing wherever these riots are going on. But yeah, so I'm gonna wish you a good rest of your day and get my other video in and my daily exercise. Bye.